In the name of God, who is most merciful and gracious, I am Zubair Khan and you are watching my vlog. Application for the arrest warrants regarding Israeli Prime Minister and Defense Minister has caused an earthquake in USA and in the whole of the Western world. There are serious thoughts by USA to invade ICC in Hague. You can listen the details in this program how USA is reviving the 2002 law to invade ICC. Now you can watch this program.
The International Criminal Court at The Hague has officially applied for arrest warrants for Israel's Prime Minister and Defense Minister, charging them with war crimes and crimes against humanity. This is absolutely historic, as was pointed out by the newswire Reuters. It cited a veteran war crimes prosecutor who said, quote, "This is a watershed event in the history of international justice. The ICC has never, in over 21 years of existence, indicted a Western official. Indeed, no international tribunal since Nuremberg after World War II has done so. In fact, until 2016, only Africans had been tried at the ICC, and that's why many African leaders condemned it as essentially a colonial institution. The current prosecutor of the ICC revealed in an interview on CNN that Western governments were pressuring him not to charge Israeli officials over their war crimes. And he said that a senior Western government official told him that the ICC was built for Africa and thugs like Putin, not the West. So here we can clearly see the double standards of the Western so-called democracies that boast about the so-called rules-based international order in which they made the rules and order everyone else around. And now that top U.S. allies in Israel are facing ICC charges, the Biden administration is openly threatening to impose sanctions on the ICC, which is exactly what the Donald Trump administration did. In fact, before the ICC prosecutor filed these arrest warrants against top Israeli officials, there were rumors going around that he was preparing to do so, and U.S. government officials wrote an open letter threatening to invade The Hague if Israeli officials faced any consequences. I made a video about that, which I will link to in the description below. The U.S. government passed a law back in 2002 that's known as the Hague Invasion Act, in which the U.S. said that it will invade The Hague in the Netherlands and physically remove any U.S. official or an official from a Western ally who faces charges at the ICC. And 20 years later, now U.S. officials are bringing back this legislation and threatening once again to potentially invade The Hague to try to save Israeli officials from the consequences of their war crimes. And why is the U.S. government so afraid? Because they know that if Israeli officials who are supported by the U.S. are arrested and prosecuted for their crimes against humanity, the U.S. government is directly complicit in those crimes. It is the U.S. government that is giving Israel billions of dollars of weapons and military assistance that it's using to kill civilians in Gaza. It's the U.S. government that is protecting Israel on the international stage, vetoing resolutions in the UN Security Council that call for peace and a ceasefire. And in fact, a U.S. senator admitted this openly. The Republican lawmaker Lindsey Graham let the cat out of the bag, and this May, in a Senate hearing, he said the quiet part loud and admitted that if Israel and Israeli officials are prosecuted for war crimes, we could be next. The United States could be next. Here is this very revealing clip.
So we, hopefully, together will find a way to rest our displeasure with the ICC, because if they'll do this to Israel, we're next. This group tried to come after our soldiers. Yeah, you can clap all you want to. They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed. So at the end of the day here, what I hope to happen is that we level sanctions against the ICC for this outrage to not only help our friends in Israel, but protect ourselves over time.